Welcome to my monthly project update video for November, or December, January, February, March? Yeah, that's about right. It's been a while. My primary excuse for delaying this video is that I decided to leave my full-time job in order to start a business related to electronics and software. It's been a rough few months with less progress than I would have liked, but my projects are starting to move forward again. So, going all the way back to November was a month for circuit board design. I really enjoy circuit board design, and I have over the years unfortunately designed far more circuit boards than I have actually completed the firmware and software for. That's something I'm still working on improving. The first board I worked on was just a quick solution for mounting a Seek thermal camera. It can either connect back to the cell phone through an extension cable, or be fit with a different connector to connect to a PC instead. Second is this board, which is designed to control a touchscreen LCD. The brains of the operation will be a particle photon or electron board, which interfaces to a Spartan 6 FPGA with some RAM. This will act as a frame buffer for the display, and I'm planning to build some GPU rendering features for it to make drawing complex graphics much easier and free up the Photon CPU time for other things. I also added the option to attach a microphone and speaker. I have a few projects for this design planned, and I expect the finished project to allow for really fluid animation of complex user interfaces and maybe even 3D rendering. Third, I spent some time on a control board for a desktop ice maker unit. My freezer isn't kind enough to make ice automatically for me, so a desktop unit is the next best thing. The only problem, though, is these devices are pretty dumb, and in my limited experience, their control electronics vary between mediocre and downright dangerous. I'm designing this board to replace the control electronics for an ice maker I liked a lot, which ultimately fried one of its control circuits due to poor design. This board was designed to be pretty simple and hard to mess up, so it uses an off-the-shelf module to deal with the potentially dangerous task of converting wall outlet line level voltages to a more manageable level, in this case 12 volts. The board's core function is to turn on and off the power to several 12-volt and line voltage devices, and it can read temperature sensors and a water level sensor. Then all I need to do is turn things on for the right amount of time in a simple cycle, and my ice maker will be as good as new, maybe even better. While I was working on circuit boards, I also briefly revisited my motor controller board that was featured in an earlier video, and I've now released the design. Check out the links in the description. Sadly, now that I've designed so many boards to work on, I need to actually write the software for them, and it may be a while before I get back to designing more circuit boards. In December, when the circuit boards came back, I assembled some of the ice maker boards. This project was a bit rushed, which caused some problems. To start with, I used the wrong package size for the 5-volt switching regulator in the board design, so my chip didn't fit. To work around this, I instead installed a 5-volt linear regulator with wires, as this design isn't going to draw much current. Some cautious smoke testing later, and everything appeared to be working correctly, and the photon powered up when it was plugged in. Then the project sat around until February when I decided to finish it. After installing the electronics and powering up the board carefully, I realized the compressor and valve were switched on incorrectly when the board powered on. Some investigation later, I realized that I had accidentally swapped 2 of the pins on my big power switching triax. Luckily, that mistake didn't cause any explosions. After cutting some traces and rewiring the triax correctly, I applied power and it worked beautifully. Let's see that again. Beautiful. Well, one of the surface mount resistors exploded in the fraction of a second that the device had power. I still need to review the design again and figure out what exactly about my circuit is broken and work around it. More to come on this project later. One of the more useful things I did in February was to build this tool. It's a simple automatic time tracker. It provides a text-based report on where my time is going by application and by project, as well as this lovely visual representation showing the data so you can get a quick overview of where time is going or zoom in and take a closer look. It's a really simple system, monitoring the currently active window and receiving OS notifications for when the user is active or idle and when the screen turns on or off. But it's been pretty valuable to give me a sense of how much I'm getting done in a systematic way. Unfortunately, that's about all I have to show for these 5 months. I'll have more next month, though. Thanks for watching.